The Tale of Little Red Riding Hood. Welcome to an enchanted tale, a place where magic comes to life and where every step tells a story. Today, we will travel together through the legend of Little Red Riding Hood. We open an ancient book, with pages yellowed by time, and discover a young and curious girl with a very special mission. Before you start, remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you don't miss the next stories. Little Red Riding Hood is a sweet and carefree little girl with a passion for adventure. Her mother gives her a simple but important task, to take a basket full of sweets and treats to her beloved grandmother, who lives on the other side of an enchanted forest. But be careful. As much as the forest sparkles with color and magic, it is also full of mysteries and dangers. Who knows what her path will bring? My dear, remember, her mother says with a warm smile, handing her the basket, always stay on the main road and don't let anything distract you. And be careful of strangers. Little Red Riding Hood nods enthusiastically, her red hood flapping lightly in the breeze. Don't worry, Mom, I'll be great, she promises, not imagining that her journey will be anything but without surprises. With that basket in her hands and a song in her heart, Little Red Riding Hood ventures deep into the forest, determined to reach her grandmother's house safe and sound. As she enters the forest, Little Red Riding Hood is amazed. The trees seem to reach up to the sky, their branches intertwining in beautiful arches. Strange creatures hide among the leaves, an owl with enormous eyes, a curious deer that peers at her from afar, even butterflies that seem to be made of gold. "Oh, how beautiful it is here," exclaims Little Red Riding Hood, walking through the rays of sunlight filtering through the trees. However, she still listens to her mother's advice, at least for now. Deep in the woods, however, a strange energy begins to tickle her curiosity. On one side of the path, Little Red Riding Hood glimpses a shining flower, blue as the sky at sunset, that sparkles like precious stones. Her curiosity grows irresistible. "How wonderful! It would make a perfect gift for Grandma," he murmurs, taking a few steps off the path. A golden butterfly approaches her, almost as if it wants to warn her. But Little Red Riding Hood doesn't listen and approaches the flower. Just as she picks it up, she finds herself disoriented, the path is no longer visible. She immediately begins to worry, but thanks to a little luck and the song of a nightingale, she finds her way again. "I have to be more careful," she muses, clutching the flower and learning a little lesson about the importance of staying focused. A little further on, Little Red Riding Hood meets an intriguing figure, a large gray wolf with deep eyes and a sly smile. He doesn't seem mean, but there's something mysterious about him. "Good morning, little one," says the wolf in a honeyed tone. "Where are you going on such a beautiful day?" "I'm going to my grandmother's house, on the other side of the woods," replies Little Red Riding Hood, kindly but slightly suspicious. What a thoughtful granddaughter. "But, you know, there is a faster path that passes through here," suggests the wolf, temptingly. Little Red Riding Hood, though fascinated by the wolf, remembers her mother's words. With a polite smile, she replies, "Thank you, but I prefer to follow the main road." The wolf closes his eyes, studying her silently, then smiles slyly and disappears into the trees. Little Red Riding Hood continues her journey, unaware that the wolf has taken a shortcut to her grandmother's house. As she walks along, Little Red Riding Hood encounters other wonders of the forest, a river that seems to sing, a group of squirrels playing tag among the branches, even a family of hedgehogs that offer her a smile, or so it seems. Each encounter reminds her of how alive and complex the nature that surrounds her is. However, the feeling that the wolf is watching her from afar begins to make her a little anxious. While she remains alert, Little Red Riding Hood does not lose her sense of wonder for the adventure. Meanwhile, the wolf has already arrived at the grandmother's house. Knocking lightly on the door, he pretends to be Little Red Riding Hood. The grandmother, unaware, invites him in. Before she knows it, she finds herself hiding in a closet and the wolf puts himself in her place, even wearing a cap and glasses. Before continuing, remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you don't miss the next stories. Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood arrives calmly and cheerfully at the door of the house. Knocking lightly, she exclaims, "Grandma! It's me, Little Red Riding Hood." "Come on, my dear," replies the wolf, disguising his voice in a funny way. Little Red Riding Hood enters and immediately notices that something is wrong. "Ouch, Grandma, your face looks different today," observes Little Red Riding Hood. "Oh, I'm just a little tired, dear," replies the wolf. But Little Red Riding Hood isn't entirely convinced. "Grandma, what big eyes you have," he exclaims. "To get a better look at you, my dear," replies the wolf, with a mischievous smile. "And what big ears you have," adds Little Red Riding Hood, a little more suspicious. "To make you feel better, my dear." "And what big teeth you have," he finally shouts. "The better to eat you," screams the wolf, leaping from the bed in a burst of mischievous laughter. Wait! Before continuing, remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you don't miss the next stories. Despite her fear, Little Red Riding Hood does not lose her cool. She notices the basket she carries with her and has a brilliant idea. Taking one of the cakes, she throws it away, attracting the wolf's attention. When the wolf turns around, a host of magical forest creatures he had met on his journey appear to help him. An owl and a squirrel jump on the wolf, carrying off his hat. The golden butterfly disturbs him with such a brilliant flutter that the wolf retreats in fear, running out the door. From her hiding place, the grandmother emerges safe and sound. She hugs Little Red Riding Hood tightly. "What a brave granddaughter you are." Shortly after, the wolf also returns, but this time he seems different. With eyes full of shame, he murmurs, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was just hungry, maybe a little lonely." Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother, although surprised, choose compassion. They offer the wolf a cake from the basket, leaving him to reflect on his mistakes. At the end of the story, Little Red Riding Hood returns to her mother, enthusiastically telling her extraordinary adventure. The book, as in the opening scene, slowly begins to close, leaving an important message for everyone. In life, it is essential to listen to the advice of those who love us, learn from mistakes, be brave in the face of difficulties, and show kindness even to those who make mistakes. Just as Little Red Riding Hood teaches us, courage and kindness can make the world a magical place. And so, our tale ends happily, for there are no forests too dark when the heart is illuminated by the light of wisdom and love.